Because what is CSRF? How we need to address them. CSRF, cross-site request forgery, it's a kind of hacking technique where the hacker will impersonate the logged in user to do some illegal activities. By default, the Spring is enable CSRF attacks, and if you want to disable this feature, there is a method called disable. We need to call like this. We'll see in example manner how this will work. Configuration part. Here I written two examples to describe the CSRF attack. If you see, there is example 7, there I written some secure endpoints. If anyone want to call the secure endpoint, should have authentication details. Whereas hacker, so this is the hacking application, this person is trying to call the secure endpoints without login. Before moving into the coding part, like the configuration what we did, let's see how these applications are working. Assume like this is the bank where the customer is trying to register with his information. This application is running in 8081, and when user called the registration, it redirected to the login page. After enter the login details, it will give you this login page. There user can enter some name and last name, can register the information. If you see the second application, this is the hacker application running in 808 different server, and the person given some information called online shopping, and they give one button called click here to get more offers. So when you click this button, so internally this person will try to call the secure endpoints is there in the bank application. So this is actually misleading. Internally they define some JavaScript logic to make some call to the secure endpoints. So this browser is helping to carry that previously logged in cookie information to the same server. From this, assume like this is the bank application, and we have a controller called registration controller. We have two endpoints defined. One is get, the other one is post. So this get is used to get the registration form, and this is used to register the details. And this is the theme leaf UI. So there I define two parameters here, first name and last name, and there is a button called, this is the submit button, and if you see here, I'm sending these details to the register save. That information will be reached automatically to this method call. When you call the register, we got the registration form, and if you submit, the details will be submitted to this endpoint. This is how the simple logic we built, and correspondingly we configure some of the security related stuff here. If I maximize a little bit, this one register endpoint need to be authenticated, and CSRF disabled by default. Okay, let me remove this part. As I mentioned, like CSRF, you no need to write any extra statement. Spring by default it got enabled. And yes, this is all about the configuration part. And if you see the hacker related application, so there also the person written one of the controller index, and this is just for returning the index UI. And if you see, index, there also the person written first name last name, but type is hidden, so this will not displayed inside the browser, so this will be hide. And the person is giving you one button called click to get more offers. This is actually misleading. When you click on it, the person is actually submitting these details. So there is a JavaScript code here. When you click on this, it will come to there. It will form this request, and finally it is sending the registration. So this is the endpoint. So this endpoint is actually matching with the bank, with the controller what we written here. The data will become to this endpoint without login. So hope you got some idea how the hacker can build the application to make a call. It will display like this. When you click on here, it's automatically make a call to the bank application controller. Okay, let's see. I need to stop the instances first because I did some changes. Let me start the application. Eight zero 81, and I want to start the hacker application also. Hacker application is running in 808. Let me go to register. I want to get the register form. To get the register form, it will ask you the login because that is secured. Let me log in. Now we got the registration form. There we can enter and something called test. So we successfully registered. If you see this hacker related app, the person given one button, click here to get more offers. You are actually expecting more offers from the online shopping, but if I click on this, the person is internally calling or the bank related API 8081 registered save. And if you see the payload data, they are sending the first name and last name. This is called CSRF attack. The hacker impersonating the logged in user to do some illegal activities. Spring is not allowing. If you see this request got failed because Spring by default enable the CSRF attacks. How that internally identifying whether the request is came from the actual logged in user or the request came from the hacker. So there is one simple technique. If CSRF is enabled, then it internally include one hidden parameter while sending back to a login form. When you submit along these two parameters, one more hidden format also will be sent back to the server. So that will use it to identify whether the request is came from the actual logged in user or the request came from the hacker. If I submit, the person can send only two parameters. That hidden parameter is dynamic, that cannot guess by the hacker. This is how that CSRF attacks can be handled in the Spring security. If you disable this, if you go here, if you disable CSRF attack, then there is a very much possibility or the attacker can easily make a call about this endpoint. This is all about cross-site request forgery. Thank you.